Hey everybody, this is take one of hopefully just one. I'm pretty good at just going straight through. Anyway, this is Chris from Kratom with Chris. And today we're going to sit down and have a cup of Kratom together from start to finish. I'm going to show you all how I make my Kratom, how I make my tea. There's two ways. The first way I'm not going to show, I'll explain it, but I'm not going to show you because it's too much of a pain in the ass to bring everything out. So, very first thing I do is I store my Kratom in containers that look like this, where you can flip them up and they've got this nice little rubber gasket here to keep the air out and keeps it from getting moisturized. I've got all my Kratom in all of these labeled. I'll be right back because I forgot the Kratom. Today I'm going for Euphoria. So I've already had about 4 cups so far because remember, less gives you gives you energy. More, a whole lot of it gives you a euphoria, kind of like an opiate euphoria. So I have chosen today to take Red Dragon, and again you can see it's pretty low, which means it's time to refill. So I'm going to be talking to Uju pretty soon, and I'm going to be paying $175 for 3 pounds of it, which should last me a year. And again, you just pop it open and pour my Kratom in there from the bag. Because every time I try to just leave it in the bag and scoop it out, I spill it everywhere. Then I have this. I think I got it from a coffee pot, or from a coffee canister. I don't know, but it says on the back 5 grams. So I'm assuming it's a 5-gram scoop. Then I have my pot of hot water. And I hate it when you can't see the order's face. And then I use this little tool here, which I don't know where anyone find. It's a little tiny mini whisk. I love it. It's the coolest thing ever. And I use that to mix my cup. Then I got an Old Faithful cup. I washed it this morning, which is rare because usually I wake up and just make Kratom. Another method. First off, let's start with that. Take your coffee pot. Use your little scoop, however you make coffee, scoop 5 to 10 grams of Kratom into the basket. Fill it with tap warm water and then run the coffee pot. It'll run through and the little filter will filter out all that bulk. So all you're getting is the tea, the essence of the tea. You're not getting all the bulk, which is going to constipate you. And I've heard really good results from this. Many people say it takes away the stomach ache they get from it or the nausea. But the first thing I do is I add sugar to my cup. So let's do that right now. 1, 2, and then number 3. I use 3 scoops because I'm a sugar bitch. I love sugar. I live on sugar. Before I found Kratom, I was Red Bull and lattes from Starbucks. I am a sugarholic. And this is heating up while I'm mixing all this stuff together. Oh yeah, let me put my Kratom in there, which I'm getting really low of red. So I'm going to have to order that ASAP, probably today, but I don't get paid until the 4th. And I take 1 5-gram scoop and just pop it in my cup, shake it out, put it down, pour my water in, and this is hot water. And then if I had one, I would pour some Crystal Light, which is sugar free, and I wouldn't add near that much sugar. I would add maybe one. And I take my little whisk and I whisk around the Kratom and mix it until it is mixed. Duh. And this is for anybody new watching this channel. I had a very successful channel called Kratom Kingdom, which had a lot of subs to it, so I really worked really hard at trying to make top-notch videos. Now I lost that channel. YouTube took it away. I called them and they said it doesn't follow with their whatever. So, and I lost my password, so I'll never get into it again because they won't give me my password. I tried changing the password, it didn't work. I don't even know the username I used for it. So it's gone. It's gone forever. So I started a new channel called Kratom with Chris. It's a little more personal. I talk a little bit more about myself and my disabilities and you guys. And basically a little about my life. It's almost like a vlog in a way. And I try to do a different vlog every day because a lot of people have Kratom with me every day. Sugar away. Okay, keep mixing, because I like it mixed really well. Put 2 cool away. Then I put the Kratom away. And I have 10 of these against my back wall of my counter. All with these nifty little labels that tell what they are. We've got white, green Mangda, regular green, red dragon, regular red. And then I'll mix green and white together and get black. And black is a whole different strain. Try it out. And then so I've got all these little sealable things with labels on them so I know what they are, and it's important to have more than one strain because mixing it up makes it feel like you're taking it for the first time and your brain isn't building up a tolerance to one strain, which I made that mistake in doing, and I was like, this is not doing anything anymore. So then my Kratom dealer just recommended I take, what did you just take? I said red. He said, well, take white next time. Like white, I don't really like the effects of white. It makes me too anxious. He said, well, mix a little bit of white and red, because red is more euphoric and stable and gets rid of pain like big time. And white is a little more stimulating, so the white and the red together make a really good mix. Alright, y'all, let's take our first sip of Kratom. And it tastes terrible. I promise you it tastes terrible, but the effects of it are worth the taste. I mean, I've never had a medicine that I'm like looking forward to taking like candy. But the effects of Kratom on my knees, on my neck. I also, not only did I have a stroke, but I came out of it. Anybody with a neurological disorder will usually get fibromyalgia, which in my theory has to do with the brain, because the brain connects to all the nerves in your body, and those nerves get inflamed, which hence causes a lot of pain, and a lot of people think it's fake. A lot of people think it's in your head, you just want to be on disability, which is BS. Fibromyalgia is real, and I'm here to tell you. And knee pain is real, back pain is real. You know, they're not just lazy people, weird people that have used our bodies and brains to the point that they gave out on us. Like, I have a bad back because of the way I walk. I walk weird because I use my right leg to do all the lifting of my 200-pound frame. And all this hair I have, I've got to carry around with this neck. You won't believe how much hair I have. You just won't believe it. Ooh, that was bad. So, I'm in that phase now where I need to get it shaved again so I don't look so Dr. Einstein or Rick Rubin with infamous producer who produced the Beastie Boys, Easy, Eminem, Jay-Z. He's done everybody great. He's made millions of albums. These tattoos, the reason I'm so tattooed is prior to my stroke I had none because I was chicken. But prior to my stroke I was in a band and everybody in the band was covered. Had face tattoos, were covered, and I was the one that looked like the wuss with no tattoos. Not that tattoos make you look tough, but they're a little intimidating. And I've gotten girlfriend only because I had two sleeves. And my last girlfriend, she was 19. She was a college student that I was teaching. And she fell in love with my tattoos, not me. And every time I get a new tattoo, she'd be like, "Oh my gosh, you're so much hotter." Because I got, across my stomach, I got overcome, which is my personal motto for overcoming the stroke and all of my disabilities. Because a stroke doesn't just give you one disability, it gives you a plethora. I like that word, plethora. And it blows my mind, so how many disabilities I have because of it. And I went on disability not for my stroke, but because I went to a psych hospital because 4 times because I tried to off myself because I couldn't handle the stroke, and my wife was not happy with me, so she stopped saying she loved me, she stopped sleeping with me, she made me sleep in the guest room. She was a horrible, horrible woman who I pray she listens to this podcast so I can finally tell her to her face. When she wanted me to move out within 10 minutes. She's like, "Get out." And I'm like, "I'm not ready to get out. I gotta pack all my stuff and load it in a car and get a shed." And she said, "No, you've got 10 minutes. I'm like, "Why?" And thinking, why would I have 10 minutes? Because her new boyfriend was coming in 10 minutes with all of his stuff in the back of his truck. So then the first thing she made me do was sign a paper, not telling me what it was. I just had a stroke, so I'm not cognitively all there. The paper said that I give up all rights and wealth from the house. That basically the $150,000 house we just bought, all my equity that I put into it is gone. So and the first thing she did was sell it and made $60,000 cash. So that would mean I would get 30, she would get 30. Well, she wanted all 60, and she got it because I'm an idiot. And my parents were so mad at me because $30,000 could have paid for a whole lot of rehab for me. I had to cut my rehab off because I can afford it. It's $25 a week, so I would have to go once a week to have any kind of results. And my only insurance is Medicare, which doesn't pay. It pays for but it wants me to pay $25 a month copay, or $25 every visit copay, which could be very expensive, and I'm not there financially yet. I don't make any money from YouTube as of yet. Maybe one day I will. Maybe I'll get this up to 1,000. Maybe this channel will be more popular than Kratom Kingdom. A Kratom vendor offered me a ton of Kratom if I gave him the name Kratom Kingdom. I would have done it for £1 because I'm just a nice guy and I like to get used. But a good thing that's happening for me is when my dad passed, he gave me his car, which is happens to be the same year as my car, but in beautiful condition. He just bought it. So I have to convince my mom to leave the house because she had 9 strokes, just lost my dad. And she's very, very, just wants to stay home and have everybody else do everything for her because she's in shock still. And I think she sits home and cries every day. And I would go over and visit more, but my girlfriend is in the Philippines and she calls me at really, very random times. So I don't want to miss those calls because they're very few and far between, which makes me really mad because I pay for the load, for the Wi-Fi, so that she can, for the data, so she can make a video call through Facebook Messenger. which on her end is like $20 USD. On my end, it's like $10 because the changing of currency is so vastly different. So if I ever got 1,000 subscribers and actually started making money, first thing I would buy would be a Tesla Model X, my dream car. I want a Tesla so bad. I want an electric car so bad. I don't care what it is. I want a Tesla. So I just keep thinking about it and hoping that, and visualizing myself in it, and hoping that the universe is gonna follow my plan and get me a Tesla one day. It did get me a same year CRV that I have of a Subaru Forester 2003. That's been hit 3 or 4 times, and I had minimum insurance, so I couldn't pay to get it fixed. What else is happening in Chris's life? My dad just passed away like 3 days ago, so I'm still going through that. Very emotional, and I'm feeling emotions I never felt before, because me and my dad did not get along while he was alive, because he was what I would call ghetto poor. He was a hoarder, and I'm everything not that. I want to perceive myself as being of normal wealth. And I went to college to try to earn more money than they earned. And I succeeded in college. I made I graduated valedictorian, and I validated in an honor society called Psychi. I was a psychology and philosophy major. So I'm very, if I had another channel, it would be on the philosophy of the brain and the mind, which is impossible to talk about the mind, because the mind is something that it's like trying to talk about air. We know air is there, but we don't see it unless we blow smoke into it. So, and we breathe it, but it's not something that it's like looking at the tip of your nose or looking at your eyeballs. You can't look at your own eyeballs unless you look in a mirror. So, we may possibly have pink eyes, but because we have mirrors and reflections in the water, see that I have shit brown eyes. And, yeah, I should have given a kid alert so you could plug your ears for the cursed curse words that they're going to hear anyway by the time they're 5 years old. You probably use them yourself in front of your child. I mean, when you're walking along and you kick the couch, the corner of the couch, what comes out of your mouth? What comes out of my house is, holy fuck, that hurt. Not pineapple. You know, Prince, in his endeavor to quit cussing, made up new cuss words. So for oh shit, he said pineapples. Or pizza. And I kind of like that. So I try to use holy shite. You know, shite is shit in German. And I like playing around with other languages, which is why I studied 4 years of Espanol in college. Because I think the United States is going to be 50-50, and I'll love that day, because I love the Latino culture. Love it, love it, love it. I love Latino people. Latino gangsters are the ones. Cholos are if I were a Latino, I would be a cholo. Mad tattoos, mad gun in my pocket, baggy pants, underwear hanging out. That would be me. Khakis and Vans. I would be a cholo, because it's a Latino gang. How much cooler could you possibly be than a cholo bass player would be pretty badass, which is in a band called Hatebreed. or Madball. Madball has the cholos. They're all just, they're four straight edge, they're not straight edge anymore. They're four gangster cholos that play this really heavy, mean, hardcore music in New York City. And they're badass. It's one of my favorite bands. My favorite band is Slayer. If you were to ask me what my band sounded like, it would be like if you took the worst, the grungiest, the fastest part of Slayer and mixed it into a song, that would be Red Roses. And if you want to Google the band, it's called Red Roses for a Blue Lady / Eulogy. It's got to have Eulogy on it, otherwise you'll get the Wayne Newton song. And Eulogy was the record label that we were on, and there's tons of reviews on there. Because we were good. I mean, for what we did, we were good. We were part of the emo stage, which we didn't know there was even like, emo was just starting, so we weren't really, I mean, I had my hair down to here, and it was jet black. I wore mascara, I had black lipstick, black fingernails. I was starting to get mad tattoos, starting. Had I been in the band, my wife told me straight up, it's either me or the band. I'm moving to New Jersey to be with my dad, so it's either me or the band. And I made the very wrong decision. I figured I was throw away a 20-year marriage for a band. I was more romantic. I'm a romanticist. You know, I think love is everything. And when I'm not in love, I'm lost. So I fell in love with this. And that's another reason I fell into love with a Filipino. Because Filipinos are Latinos mixed with Asian. That is full on. Love it, love it, love it. They're the most beautiful people in the world. And they speak, 50% of their language, Tagalog, is Portuguese. Because the Philippines, alright y'all, it's been 22 minutes and somebody said they liked the long video. So you can just kind of leave this on and chill with me. I hope you're having Kratom with me. So I'm going to end it here, y'all. Peace out.